What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Realest People in Real Estate podcast. We are live today. I am one of your hosts, Brooke Jones, aka the Millennial Agent.
What's up, guys? It's your girl, Tyra Nicole.
And I am Nicole Bay, and we are sitting here with the person who put all of this together, the second annual Ditch the Heels, Miss Kim Agemys. Thank you so much for taking, I know, a quick moment. We only have you for a minute, because things are crazy, but this is awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, this is so awesome.
I love the setup.
This is amazing. Thank you. It touches my heart that I had this idea, and to see this idea come to life and see so many incredible ladies like yourself fill this room, it just is, it's an incredible feeling.
So tell us a little bit about the event. Like, it's Ditch the Heels, wear the sneakers. Is that,
Right.
Okay, so tell us just a little bit about it.
Ditch the heels, right? I don't want to wear heels unless it's a requirement right, anymore. And so ditch the heels, wear the sneakers is just about getting real, which is what you guys are all about, right? Get real. And so what we want to do is break it down. So I feel as women, I bring in these women they're flying in from all over the country. I would literally fly across country to see any of them speak. That's how impactful I believe they are. And yet we're bringing them all to Detroit to be here together. So that is incredible. But the idea is that if women support women, these are all women that are just incredibly successful, but just good people.
Yeah.
So when I see their success, I believe they're successful because empowered women empower other women, right? And I think that's why they have success, is because they are leaders and they do that.
Can you tell us how you came up with the idea?
Well, it stemmed from, I went to a mastermind,
Okay.
San Diego, and when I sat in that room, they were talking about the net worth of that room, which was
A very large number.
It was a very large number.
Say a very large number is my guess.
And I took away a lot of nuggets, and it was really fantastic. But as part of the event, I actually stayed in a house of women.
Oh, wow.
And so even though I took a lot from the event, my favorite part that left the imprint the most was in that house with those women. It was at breakfast, in our pajamas, drinking wine by the pool at night. It was the dinners and the lunches and the conversations in the car. Right? So it was all of those things. And I was at a point in my career that I had people telling me what I needed to do to be successful. And the interesting thing is there are more women in real estate, but there's more men in leadership and running teams. Right? Why is that, ladies?
Right.
And so they were telling me to just do some things that they were successful, no question. They clearly worked, but they didn't resonate with me. There were some pieces of it. So when I was in that house, we were having discussions, and what fascinated me is all those women built their real estate business differently.
Yeah.
So I love that. So when I was talking to them about what my thoughts were and what I was being told to do, they agreed with me, and I'm like,
Wait a
so
minute.
I'm not crazy.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Your aha moment.
Yes, it was. So when I came back, I'm like, I think women do want to build businesses differently. I think we're all about relationship, right? Not transactional. And so in those discussions, and as they continue, and as I continue to have conversations with women, I still hit the same message. And it doesn't matter what level of production that they're at, because, and I'm going to talk about that today, how you define success or how you define balance is different for you, me, and you, right? So what that looks like is different. What it looks like when I was 20, 30, 40, 50 is different. And so I think if we can talk about that, right, then I think we can, just succeed and feel better and get out of our own way.
One thing I wanted to touch base on what you said was if you're different at your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and so on. And I think that's one beauty about real estate is I started in my 40s. Brooke started in her 20s.
Yeah.
You were in your 20s too. So for me, starting in my 40s is so different than starting in your 20s. And to be able to be in a room of women who have all started this at different points of their life it's incredible.
In all walks of life.
All walks of life.
Absolutely. Different backgrounds, overcoming different obstacles, right? And I think that's the fun part. Last year after the event, I would ask people, who was your favorite speaker? Like, who resonated the most? And I would get different answers. And I think that's the power. Right? That's why these 4 ladies coming together. They all have such different qualities, and I love them for each of their differences. And so I know that everybody in the audience is going to take away different things, and that's the point.
Yeah. Can you fill everyone in before you leave about who's going to be here, who's going to be joining us? Just a little brief rundown.
Yes. So we have Elizabeth Riley. She flew in from Texas. So she is all of these ladies, each one of them have achieved a level of success that a lot of people will never see. And yet, they came here on their own dime, no real financial benefit, and they came here anyway.
Yeah.
I got the chills.
That's awesome.
I got the chills on that one.
Because I asked. Yeah. And I was brave enough to ask. And when I was asking, I was scared to ask, but they said yes.
Most they can say is no.
Right.
Most they can say
Every
is no.
time I've had an event and I've asked, I really don't have people say no. So you got to ask. So Elizabeth Riley, so she's an investor, right? So she is the only 9-time Icon agent at EXP.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
She was number like 400 and something in the company. So out of 90,000 agents now. So she saw a vision early.
Yeah.
She saw an opportunity when people told her it's a bad market, don't do it, right? So she's great in leadership. So she leads people regardless of where they are in their business, meaning that it's not just, she doesn't just pour into people that benefit her, which is why she's here. That's a true testament of who she is. We have Kendall Bonner, and Elizabeth connected me with Kendall, and so Kendall, she has been a keynote speaker at Inman, right? So that is
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
a keynote speaker at Inman.
Oh, wow.
So, that's the caliber head. She was just named the VP of Agent Success, Business Strategy for EXP. So that happened this week. She is all about technology. She's all about building others. So she's just extremely successful. And again, I didn't have a great relation. I didn't know her that well. Right. She showed up.
Yes.
I have Chanel Hart Dupree, and she was a speaker last year.
Okay.
And she's coming back. And so she was one. I had a lot of people say they really resonated with her. She's in the top 10 for volume at our global brokerage in the world, right?
Wow.
Which is incredible.
That's
So again,
incredible.
she's successful, but her heart. We had lunch yesterday, and it was. So it felt so good, right?
Yeah.
So I just love who she is as a person. And then I have Jody Gibson, and so she actually is a behavior architect. So she has a real estate background, so she understands some of the things we as real estate agents deal with, right? She has a background where she overcame a lot of obstacles, but she talks about the maps of our life and how sometimes in life something that happened to us when we were young gets in our way from us reaching our full potential.
Yeah.
So how do we overcome
Very
that?
true. Yeah.
So she's, I'm excited to have her join us as well.
Yeah, that's
amazing.
sounds awesome.
Sounds
Yeah.
amazing. Well, we won't keep you too long. Because
Yeah.
I know eventually, we will get a pan of everything. Because I do want everyone to see how amazing this event is. Thank you for taking out a couple minutes
you so
talking
much.
with us.
thank you for
Looking forward to
First,
it.
before we go, I want to
Okay.
thank you, ladies. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I want to thank you for all that you pour in. I want to thank you for being real. I want to thank you for the energy you put out in the world, right?
Appreciate that.
So
Thank you.
you guys too. You guys
Thank
make
you.
a mark and help other people. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you,
for
and
having
right
us.
back at you.
Exactly. Thank you for having us. We've been
Yeah.
looking forward to this
We
for a
have,
while. So
yes.
thank you for having us, and you'll have to get on our podcast.
Yes.
I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Yes,
I think we
can
do.
keep going. With you girls, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's easy. So, all right. Well, thank you
right.
so much, Kim, and we look forward to having more people pop in with us.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Danielle.
Just in general, I am a former teacher turned realtor.
Okay.
So I taught middle school for 7 years and decided to pursue real estate. In 2020, my grandmother got sick with stomach cancer. And I was living in Grand Rapids teaching, and she was like, well, you're going to come home and take care of me, right? And I was like, oh,
Of course.
I don't know. But then I had a home out there, and
Yeah.
I could cash in on the equity, so I did it. I lived off that, moved home to take care of her. Could not see myself going back into the classroom after that, but
Okay.
also had a really fun time with the selling process of my home. So it kind of like,
So was that all during COVID? Like, so
so I July, she asked me to move home. By July 20th, I was listed, and
Oh wow, that was like a quick decision.
Yeah.
yeah.
And so that
she was
means
my
you
person.
So shout out to you for doing that.
Yeah,
right?
really.
A lot of people, it would be a lot for them to do. So.
And I would not do that for anybody else. Medical anything grosses me out. But she was my person, and I needed to be there for her. So then when she passed, I inherited her house and was able to live off the money for a little bit and just kind of explore what I wanted to do post-teaching. And someone was like, you know, you'd be really good with real estate. And I was like, that's never crossed my mind. So I very impulsively signed up for the class, and now here I am 2 years later.
2 years later. Amazing.
So how's that been going, your real estate career?
Good. So I think I surpassed my teaching salary in my first 8 months.
Good.
Wow.
And I was a 7-year teacher, so not even a newbie.
Yeah.
Passed my teaching salary in my first 8 months, and I was like, oh yeah, I can
do this.
This
I
will
can
work.
do this.
Yeah. And then Real Producers Macomb actually interviewed me. I'm a rising star this year. I was in the top 300, I think, in the county. So
Kudos to that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I would say so. She's like, things are going just
I like your tattoo.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Is there meaning behind it?
Yeah, my grandma's name was Rose.
That's so
And then my other grandma passed like a year later, and her name was Iris. So I have
That's
the rose
very
and the
pretty.
iris.
Oh, I love that.
The butterflies are just my.
I love butterflies.
Butterflies are my favorite.
Yeah.
It's a
I
really
love
good,
butterflies.
nice tattoo too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They're done by 2 different artists. The butterflies I wish were the dainty look. I had those first.
Can I see the?
Yeah.
Oh
When my
yeah, that's
sister
very
was
pretty.
getting married, we were having this like moment of like, we're not gonna have the same last name anymore. And she was like, let's get tattoos to commemorate our bond. And I was like, you just want another tattoo.
I was going to say that. I mean,
Anything for another tattoo.
But we went for it. So
Yeah.
So as far as your real estate career now, like we don't really talk about real estate here on the Real People in Real Estate. We talk about real shit. So,
Yeah.
so tell us a little more about yourself, like your family.
yeah. So
are you married?
I am the oldest of 3 children. 35 in July. I got married in 2022, New Year's Eve.
Oh,
We had a big,
that's a fun wedding.
big New Year's
Yeah.
Eve wedding. So we celebrated our first anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
Happy anniversary.
It's like the last day of
Belated.
2022.
Yeah.
And you know, we started dating in COVID. So my sister is.
You did a lot of things in
I
COVID.
did,
You
I
were
did.
very busy in
My
COVID.
sister's made an honor speech. She was like, when the world was shutting down and nobody was seeing each other, somehow these two managed to
Right.
connect.
I was saying, like, you had a lot going on.
We knew each other in college and reconnected.
Okay.
And he was working for the city of Detroit in their recreation department. So he had to be tested weekly to give out meals to the elderly.
So,
And
yeah,
so
so
he was
that was
like,
up.
and his parents are older, so he was like, I'm not going anywhere. We're good to hang out. And then once he stayed by my side the whole time, my grandma was like, he'd come sit for 10 hours with me just so that I wasn't alone taking care of her. And I was like, yeah, you're not
He
going
became your
anywhere
new
now.
person.
Yeah.
He became
There you
your new
go.
person.
Yeah.
Super
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
then we, our biggest goal in life is travel, so that's really why I work.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Where's your most favorite place that you've traveled to so far?
Together, Hawaii. We did Hawaii for a honeymoon.
Okay.
So we did 2 weeks in Oahu, Kauai, and then back to Oahu. So
And what about separate solo? What would be?
I did a solo trip to Spain in 2019.
A solo trip?
Yes.
Like
I
no
backpacked. I put 9 days of clothes in a backpack, and I headed to Spain. I did Barcelona, Madrid, Sitges, which is like a beach town near Barcelona. I went to Montserrat, like up in the mountains, and
Well, that right there should tell you that you can take risk and chances.
Yeah.
because-
if I have an idea, I go for it.
That's so good.
And you seem to be very well at any idea you go for, because that's pretty awesome. Very
Sounds like a
cool.
freedom
I know,
seeker.
a freedom seeker.
A freedom seeker. I am fully like, I've been in the network marketing industry since I was 22 because I knew that teaching wasn't going to pay for the things I wanted to do in life, but I was still passionate about it. So I've always been building, like mentoring a team and selling product on the side, and so just kind of all aligned. And I got a taste of that freedom mindset of like, I'm not going to work for somebody my whole life.
Right.
I think that life has too much to offer to
Yeah,
just
definitely.
spend it
Do you miss
working.
teaching at all?
I actually have been subbing to satisfy that.
Okay. That's a good
I mean,
idea.
yeah, check some
Because I
box.
did miss it. I realized realized once I started subbing again, like last month, so I've only done it a few times since, like I do not belong here full time.
Yeah.
The little taste here and there.
Yeah.
That's perfect, actually.
That's like my new
Yeah.
motto, like going through stuff and like checking boxes in your life.
Yeah.
So that's just another box for you to
I
check.
had
It's
a lot of friends in education who are like really disappointed in me and like it's a disservice that you're not teaching anymore. And I was like, why don't you care about me? And like my mental state, I was literally like a different person because I was so worn out from it.
Yeah.
And now I'm happy. And I
all
pop
that
in the
You can do it
classroom-
when you want to
I
now.
pop in the classroom for a day, and it's a memorable day for the kids. When I pop
It reminds you why
when I'm
you're
back
not.
in that school, they're like, "Hey, you're back." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, only for
Temporary.
today.
only for today. Don't get used to it.
We'll see you again in a month.
Right.
Happy summer vacation."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I love your story.
I know,
Thank
it's
you.
super cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking a minute. I know
Thank
you were
you.
kind of thrown into this.
Yeah, I was. But that's okay.
And what
You're
brings you
welcome.
here? I guess we should ask.
So Kim is my sponsor in EXP, so I joined with her because I wanted somebody that was going to really like help me launch a career in real estate. A lot of brokerages, when I interviewed them, they were like, "Don't expect to make money in your first year," and I was like, "Well, not you." Just weeding through my way. And when I sat down with her, I was like, "How do you feel about like?" Can I get a paycheck right away? And she was like, yeah, what do you, like, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
And she lined up a plan for me, and so ever since, like, we have a beautiful friendship now. And I did all the decor because that's my thing.
No, it's amazing.
Oh, really?
So she was like,
Wow.
but yeah, I helped.
There's another niche.
Yeah.
There's another.
That's
Next thing you know,
awesome.
we're going to interview
One of
him.
many talents.
We're going to interview you again, and you're going to be like, I started a
Yeah.
decor business. Do you already have one?
No, but my
Okay.
sister and I have talked about starting
Okay.
an event planning thing.
Yeah, wait till next year.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
be talking about that.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that with you next year. We'll be checking
Yeah.
it out
Always
to see.
something.
All right, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping
All
in.
right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Realist People in Real Estate podcast live. I am one of your hosts, Brooke Jones, aka the Millennial Agent.
What's up, guys? I'm your girl, Tyra Nicole.
And I'm Nicole Kay, and we are live at Digital Deals with our favorite mortgage broker ever, Miss Becky Alley. Hey, Hardcore Mortgage. Well, the show, you have your show, the Hardcore Mortgage
The
Show.
Hardcore Mortgage Show,
which
97.1 every
we
Saturday
love that.
morning.
Good time there, good times fun. How's it going? I feel like we
going.
haven't seen you.
Yeah.
I don't think I
I
have.
feel like I see you guys,
I've
but
seen
it's like
you.
we're out in the streets.
Yeah.
It's like,
We see you,
We're
but
in
we
the
don't
streets.
see you.
yeah, we're in the streets hustling, but I love when I run into my girls because I'm
Yeah.
always singing your praises no matter what. You guys are doing a really
We
good
love
job
you.
on the podcast.
Thank you.
And on real estate and all the things you're doing, it's so
Thank
amazing.
you. I love working with you.
Yeah.
She's my girl.
So what's going on? Like, what's new? How's business? How's life? How's the family? All the, I mean,
all that good
all
stuff.
the good
Well,
stuff.
you can't complain. I mean, business-wise, it's a weird market. I feel like
Yeah.
if we're, going to talk
I
about it
agree.
real quick. It's there's a lot of uncertainty out there, not only with who our clients are, but real estate professionals are kind of going through this weird vibe.
Yeah.
So I feel like you have to have empathy. Right now, there's not a lot of people reaching out and trying to have an understanding of where everyone's coming from, and that's
Yeah.
why, like, being at this event with Kim, it is opening up those doors for the daily struggles of what we're going through, but meeting everyone where they are so you can take them where they're going.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Can you
People where
talk
they
a
are.
little bit, Becky, about, because earlier I seen you were at a different event earlier, and you were talking about a new program that's going to be launching, because in July we're a little uncertain what's going to happen with the buyer's agency commission.
Yeah.
But you have a program to kind of
Oh.
offset that.
Yeah, so it's called Home Funded. It's exclusive, so no other lender has this program.
Okay.
And you have to kind of view it as like a GoFundMe, but for lending. So this is going to open up where everyone can gift. It's not going to just be limited to family, because most of the time when you're in a situation and you find out that someone doesn't have enough money for closing, if they don't qualify for a down payment assistance program, you are trying to last minute trying to get a gift.
Yes.
And you're limited to a family member, which is like mom, dad, grandparents, and then it comes down to it, and they don't want to share their banking information. It's a huge hassle and there's not enough time. So we came up with this creative solution called Home Funded, where it's an online platform. We use it for weddings, so instead of gifting gifts, you can gift money.
Okay.
Each person can give a max of $5,000, and we match dollar for dollar up to $2,000.
Oh, wow.
So there's no max, and these
Yeah.
funds do not expire, so there's no time limit. So you can start someone on a GoFundMe or a Home Funded, I should say, 6 months from now, and then, or 6 months prior, and then a year later they buy a house, and that money's just been accumulating for them. So now they
that's
have
awesome.
$15,000
Yeah.
to buy this house, and we can also help this if we are in a situation where the buyer's agency commission might not be able to be paid for by the seller. These funds can help the buyer cover your compensation because.
Yeah,
That's
oh,
amazing.
definitely.
Yeah, because yours
That's
could be like, hey,
amazing.
what's up on that toaster?
I just
got?"
thought about that. I was just like,
no one's gonna follow up on that, but they're like,
Yeah.
hey, wow, like, did you buy that house that I contributed to?
Yeah.
that's pretty odd. Yeah, I just like it like clicked when you were just saying. I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be an awesome wedding.
Exactly.
Like something to set up for a wedding.
So how can people sign up for that or be a
So
part of it?
we're doing a big launch next week, but even real estate agents, so you're gonna go to realtorhomefunded.com. You can set
Okay.
up your own profile,
Okay.
and you can share it with your clients even before they talk to me.
That
because
is awesome.
it is key. The only caveat is that if once you're under contract, you can't go backwards and do the home fund it. You have to sign up with the home fund it before
You have to already be signed up. Okay.
So you as a real estate agent, you set up
Yeah.
your own profile. There's marketing in there so you can get testimonial videos, and then our buyers set up this beautiful campaign. And every time we share it on social media, we give them $10. So if you share it on social media, like, so what's Tyra doing for her clients? Tyra's
have
giving
to
her
tell me
clients.
I know. We keep sharing. Just keep hitting the share button. Keep hitting
So
the share
the key
button.
is that it's everything we can do to get them to the $2,000 that we're giving them.
Yeah.
You sign me as a loan officer, and boom, it's done.
What an amazing
love it.
program.
I
Like that's
love it.
amazing. I love that.
Because you have to be
Absolutely.
out of the box right now.
Yeah.
It's back to basics, but you have to be creative solutions and be a part
Definitely.
of the evolution that is real estate. And right now, there's some things where we're under attack, so you have to make sure that we are taking care of our referral partners and what we have to do for that.
Yeah, I love
Very
it.
cool.
Awesome.
Well, on
Definitely
that
getting that
note,
information.
I know. Like,
Becky, is this your first Stitch to Heels event?
Yes, it is. Yes.
How are you loving it so far?
I know. What do you think?
It's a good vibe. It's,
Yeah.
you know, when Kim reached out to me, I was like, yes, yes, yes. Everyone knows I'm a yes ma'am, right? And sometimes I'm like, who booked my schedule? Like, I need a handler, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I had an event this morning, and then here I am. I was
Yeah.
like, who's my handler? But anytime you can get in a room with amazing people that are like-minded, that are going to help elevate you to the next level just by being in that proximity,
Yeah.
this is what you want to be a part of. So when you hear about proximity, this is that proximity. Kim is an amazing person with amazing connections, and here I am having on your amazing podcast, having an amazing conversation, right? It just goes hand in hand, and I'm excited to hear what everyone has to say. I'm going to be up there talking, saying some things. one or two
Yay,
things
all
as
right.
well.
Okay.
And I'm excited for just taking things to the next level, and you don't have to struggle in silence sometimes.
Yeah, especially as a woman. So, how do you feel being a part of this event as far as women empowerment goes?
You know, sign me up. girlfriend. I think femininity is an amazing, beautiful thing, but there's strength in that because you have to be soft and hard at the same time, right? So
Yeah,
you have to be able to switch what role you're going to be playing, whether it's the professional, then you come home and you're the mom hat, and then you're the businesswoman hat, and then you're the friend hat. You know, we have to constantly be changing our vibe around the room, right? It's like being the coffee bean, right? When you walk in the room, you want to change the environment for the better, not adapt to it.
Yeah.
And when you can be in proximity of this kind of stuff, it's amazing. But as far as like women empowerment, on my side of the tracks, most of the time I'm the only woman in the room on the lending side. It's definitely a male-dominated field, and I think events like this are not about just kicking the door down, but it's also holding the door open.
Yeah.
So not only am I going to kick this door down, but I'm going to hold it open so you can come. You can come. Everyone can come. Like, because if you're not climbing, you're sliding, right? And if I can make it better for somebody else, that's what we're here for.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
like I struggled because I didn't know my way, but I found my way. But that's why I think it's so important to speak on those things and share those stories, so that way
Yeah.
the next person that's in the room that I might have been, I'm speaking to the person that I used to be in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
What
we've
do they
had
say?
that
Like, talk to your
conversation.
younger self.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
you should always
I would say we've had that conversation before, and leaving that conversation always helps. Like, yeah.
Well, you are definitely a powerhouse at what you're doing, and
For
we are so
sure.
honored and privileged to even not only call you one of our preferred brokers, but a friend. So I appreciate that. So thank you so very
Thank
much.
you. And for
we're
all you do. Thank you
for all you do. And like I said, I'm so happy that we can see what's going on behind here.
Yeah.
Back there, you're set up back there.
Yep, back there.
Love it.
It's
Hardcore
starting to-
mortgage.
Yep, it's starting to fill up, and then you can check us out 97.1 every Saturday morning from 9 to 10. Our girls have been on the the show quite a few
Yeah.
times. We're coming up again, hopefully soon.
Okay.
Love that.
It's always a pleasure.
Just check us out, hardcoremortgage.com. We'll be there.
All right.
right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Go get that glass
Becky.
of wine.
Right.
Okay, so we switched our table around, guys. We redid an
Flash
intro
it.
because our background
Yeah.
was a little boring, and we wanted you to be able to see what was happening in action behind us.
Isn't this a lot better?
I know, we're getting a little personal here,
So
guys.
that's why I think it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Kathy. I work for Fidelity National Title.
Okay.
And I've been in the title industry about 10 years. I was in home warranties for about 8. I feel like I've been in it my entire career because my mom was a real estate agent growing up.
Oh, okay.
So I know the blood, sweat, and tears that
Yeah.
Go behind it.
and that you don't count your commission check till it's in your
Oh,
hand.
for sure.
Yeah.
That is a
Until
true
you
story.
cash it, actually.
Actually, like direct deposit.
Yeah.
They say it's
So-
coming, but too far. So is this your first ditch deals?
No, I was here
You
last
were here
year.
last year.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about the experience, and you came back.
Yeah.
So tell us all about it.
So last year was just in the crowd. I didn't sponsor last year. We're sponsoring this year, so super excited. I work with Kim and Kim's team and a lot of the other agents that are going to be here. The speakers last year were insane. And so I'm excited because I actually had Jody, who's going to talk today.
Okay.
She owns High Friend and then wrote the book Healing Your Map.
Okay. Oh, okay.
She's a therapist as well.
Yeah.
Her story.
We've heard. We,
yeah.
we haven't heard her
So-
story, but we've
Oh
had
my
a
God.
couple people
Heard
like
about her, yeah.
pipe
Like,
in
she
and
just-
say,
She's
yeah.
really, really impressive.
I can't wait to hear the story.
Yeah, and then I'm forgetting her name, but the realtor from North Carolina. I loved listening to her last
Was it
year.
Chanel?
Too. Yes. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah. So I'm super excited to hear
Yeah.
her speak again. So yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So in the hindsight of women empowerment, not the hindsight, in the moment of
Yeah.
women empowerment, what does it mean to you to be at events like this, and not only within the industry, you being in the title industry, but what does it mean actually being in a room full of women all with the same goal?
So I think us all supporting each other is huge because women can say it, but not necessarily do it. And so, like one of my competitors is here. She's a sweetheart. I have a ton of really great competitors. And then seeing the lenders come together. So what it means is actually walking our walk and talking our talk. And the more that we do that and walk our walk and talk our talk, the stronger we are.
Yeah.
And the more we're heard, not just
Seen.
or like whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
take it seriously.
Right.
It just makes
Yeah,
us
especially as what they consider like a male-dominated industry, you
I
know?
don't know if it is anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I think tables are starting to turn.
Said, but yeah.
I think we're seeing more and more women coming out, especially at these groups. And there was just one big event in Nashville that they had. Girls with Grit was another event just happened in Nashville, and I think we're starting to come together and starting to shift the tables a little bit, add a little competition. To the
Right in
table.
time for Mother's Day.
Right in time for Mother's Day. That's right.
And not that men are. I have thriller brothers. I grew up with men. Not that they're not inspiring, but for me, to see a woman hustling, being a mom, and honoring herself and taking care of herself, those women, I think are it's motivating.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then to call and lean on those women too is
You build a community. Women are very strong with the community.
It's very
Well, thank
inspirational.
you.
Thanks for
So very much. We'd love to hear more about your story. We'll pop over. Want to give your handles, plug, anything like that before you go?
Yeah, yourtitlegirl.info is
I like that.
my website. Keep it simple. It's mobile optimized, so it looks a little wonky when you're on the computer. But all of my resources are there, any events that we do, key exchange form, things that agents forget that on a Sunday at 1 o'clock they realize they don't have or they can't find. But yeah, yourtitlegirl.info and my phone number 586-292-8436.
All right,
Thank you
perfect.
so very
All right,
much for
thank
having
you so
some time with
much.
us. Thank
All
appreciate it. So welcome to our podcast.
Welcome.
Tell us about yourself, though.
I own an insurance agency.
Start with your name.
Insurance queen. What's
Denise
that all about?
Mansfield.
Denise Mansfield. Okay, and you are the insurance queen.
Yep.
So go
Okay.
ahead. Everything else?
I mean, 8 years, female entrepreneur. I have 5 female ladies that work for me.
Oh, what?
Yeah, we do everything, home auto business, and I own an agency in Shelby Township.
Okay.
So how did you get started in this?
Actually, my husband got colon cancer at 33, and I needed to switch careers because I didn't know if I was going to be a single mom with 3 little ones at home. And got into it and started working for somebody else. Didn't like the way they did it, knew there was a better way, and went out on my own.
Wow, that's like
It's a powerful
Yeah.
That's a very powerful story. And
Love
so
it.
you've been on your own for 8 years.
This is my 8th year.
Your 8th year. So going transition from how did you go on your like was your husband going through cancer at the time that you decided to go on your own? How did you manage to even do that?
I didn't know if I had any options. And when you're a mom, you got some little people that look up to you and say, what are we going to do? How are we going to do
Yeah.
this? You
Yeah, you just do it.
You just do it.
That's what
Yeah.
I was saying on the podcast yesterday. We had a lady on. She was talking about how she had her first child at, what was it?
18.
18. And I feel like young moms, when they're put in that situation of having to raise a child young, you just figure it out.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that is the push because you would do anything for your children. And
We had 3 by 29.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So you really had it was kind of the fight or flight.
Yeah.
Like you had to get it together.
And I feel like that's the thing about us women. It's like
do
when
it.
we gotta do something, like we do it. It doesn't
Yep.
matter. Like we're like laser focused on doing what we gotta
we
do.
need other people to help us because, like, even 8 years ago, I didn't have any female entrepreneurs in my life. Like, really. Like, in the
Right.
last 10 years, I feel like things have really changed a lot.
Yeah.
So do you consider yourself a mentor?
So not only do I consider myself that, I actually am in my company.
Oh.
Very
I have
good.
5 brand new advisors that I mentor.
That's awesome.
You were doing some big things, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Big things, girlfriend. So what does the future look like for you now?
Keep doing the same thing I'm doing. I would say do something different, but it works.
If it works,
everything
yeah.
we're doing is really powerful. We give back a ton. I think just keeping our why at the focus
Yeah.
and growing gradually, making smart steps, and giving back.
So what brings you here to this event?
So this is my 2nd year being a sponsor, and actually I'll get to speak later today.
Oh, really?
So you'll get to
Okay.
hear a little bit from me
A little bit
later.
more.
I have a daughter. I got 2 daughters, and I want to make sure that I show her you are your closest 25, and you need to be around people that have the same ambitions and desires that you do. And I love being in a room full of powerful women. That's what it's been an afternoon.
It is.
Love it.
It is. This is our first year, and I'm hoping that Kim brings us back next year because this is pretty dynamic. Like I'm so happy that the camera can now see what's going on behind us because there's some pretty heavy hitters and a lot of powerful women, including yourself, in this room. So thank you so very much.
Congratulations on all your success and everything.
We can't wait. We'll hopefully have a conversation with you next year.
Yeah,
You can
love
tell
that.
us more.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you so very much for sitting with
Thanks
us.
again. There's a lot going on.
Hey,
Tara.
how are you?
Okay.
How are you? Good. Welcome. How do you pronounce your last name?
Thanks for asking because I've recently...
Do it get butchered?
Yeah,
Does it get butchered all the time? Okay. So how is the official pronunciation?
It's Shodi. So instead of the S, it's pronounced with an H. So Shodi.
Tony.
I
Yeah,
would
it's
have
Hungarian.
absolutely butchered it.
Okay.
And most people do.
Sarah Chody with Real Producers. Welcome, welcome.
Yes.
So, how's it going? Like, we're finally like meeting you in person.
Yes.
We've done the Zooms. We've done
Well,
all
I've
this
met
stuff.
her in person before, but-
Yeah.
yeah.
I've only seen her on Zoom, so it's nice to meet you in person. So, how is everything going?
So great.
Busy?
Yeah, we just had an event yesterday in Novi at Hagopian.
Okay.
Okay.
So, you know, we're always bringing events in different places, different cities.
Like
Like
carpet,
rugs and carpet and yeah.
okay.
It was pretty cool.
Okay, and then you have May, March 8th. I'm sorry, we're in May.
Yeah.
What month am I in? We're in May. May 8th is your 5-year anniversary, correct?
Sweet. Yeah.
That's super awesome. So tell us a little bit about that.
So-
5 years in the making.
Yeah, 5 years for Wayne County. So Oakland County, we've been around for 6 6 years.
Okay.
Wayne County, it's our 5 year. Cheers to 5 years here.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We're having it in Detroit at the Whiskey
Okay.
Factory.
All right.
And it's going to be during the day. That was voted. I think people want to get home before traffic or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 1 to 3 at the Whiskey Factory.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time.
We will be there. I know. I
So
registered for that.
how did you get started with doing
Real
Real Producers?
Producers?
Yeah, just in a kind of a
Yeah.
quick story.
So the company, N2 Publishing, does all the printing, all the design work in the magazines, and they have lots of different branches. They have magazines that go to affluent neighborhoods. They have like medical magazines. They have Real Producers. They
Yeah,
created
okay.
about maybe 8 years ago.
Okay.
And my cousin was doing that for about 7 years, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years.
Okay.
And I was itching to get back because
Yeah.
I was singing "The Wheels on the Bus
Okay.
Go Round," and I'm like, I
know
gotta
that
get back.
feeling.
I gotta
I
get
know
back.
that
Kids Bop
feeling.
stays on my car when I'll be singing Kids Bop, and I'll
Yes.
talk to myself like Kids Bop stays on my radio.
Yeah.
So I fully understand that. So you got back into the business, and
Yes, and we joined and started and did Real Producers in the area here, and Oakland County's been around for 6 years. Wayne 5. We bought Grand Rapids during COVID.
Okay.
So that is coming up on 5 years as well. And then Macomb we just launched last January.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
keeping busy. Lots of events, lots of connecting with the best and the best of the best in the real estate industry.
I'm super excited because we have a partnership with Real Producers. We actually had Derek Wade on last night, and
Yeah.
she has a story. Like we were trying to
Yeah,
she
we
was
were
talking
trying
a
to
little, we
dig.
were trying to get in, and it was funny because someone said she shared more with us than she's ever heard me share. So it's a true story that people were a safe space and we come in and they talk. So great partnership. We had a blast last night. So can't wait. You'll see the reels on that one coming out soon.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, thanks for meeting with lots of our partners and a lot of in the real estate community, sharing people's stories.
Yeah.
I love it. This is my first time here.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw the pictures last year. I was like, man, I wish I had this hat. And I already got my shoes.
You got your shoes?
Okay.
Look at them. She's,
All right.
I love
I
it.
fit in my son's shoes.
Well, right, that is.
I snuck them out of his closet.
Make sure you put them back before he gets home
Yeah.
from school. So what does it feel like for you to be in an environment like this? Because you went in business with your husband, correct?
Correct.
So now you're in an environment where you're here representing Real Producers. How does it feel to be with all these heavy hitter women and you?
And not actually have to run the event.
And exactly, you can actually be a guest at this event. What does that feel like?
Yeah, no, it's great. I love connecting with other women. I don't do it enough, and I was grateful that Kim, invited me to be here, and just excited for a great time with a lot of great people.
Yeah. Great.
Very, very cool. Well, thank you
Yes,
so
thank you
much.
so much.
We appreciate you sitting down, and I told you we're going to get you on the podcast because we have
Yeah,
a
we
lot.
gotta
We
do
have a
that.
lot to talk about.
We
A lot
gotta
to
do
talk
that.
about. We'll get that date set with you. But thanks for sitting down with us. Appreciate it.
So my name is Chanel Hart-Dupree. I'm out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Great.
Ooh, how's the weather there right now?
Yeah. It is today.
You guys, this was like I was to say, like I looked
Yeah.
at the weather. We have a good week.
Yeah, this
ahead of us.
whole
I'm
week,
super
yeah.
excited
I saw
about
last
this.
week, I'm like,
Yeah, no. It's like you never know here what you're gonna really wake up to. So
There you go.
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
I was in Denver last week speaking, and it was 78 degrees the day I flew in, and it snowed the next day.
Yeah.
So, wow.
We understand how that works. Yeah.
Let's be real. We've had 78 degrees and then
Yeah.
ice the next morning. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like Michigan
Chapel
weather.
Hill is gorgeous.
It is. So we've heard so much about you because everyone talked about you last year and how amazing and impactful you were. And you're back again for a second
Yeah.
year. What brought you back?
Oh, I was asked, number one, and I always say, if you want something, ask for it.
Yes.
So Kim reached out to me, and it's just been such an honor and a pleasure.
Yeah.
And so, there's certain things that you prioritize based on how it makes you feel. And so it felt so good to connect with everybody in the room last year, and I just wanted to connect.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
love
Tell us
it.
a little bit about your story. How did you even get started in real estate?
Oh my gosh, so I was an actor in Miami, Florida.
Oh, really?
Yes, and a single mom, and hard to take care of your child on an actor's salary. So I said, let's go into a real estate industry like real estate.
Little did you know.
But I really naturally went into real estate, more part-time in Miami and then full-time when I
an actor?
Yes.
How, like, did you do theater in high school too?
No, not at all.
So what made you get into acting?
So it was funny. I was actually at a restaurant with Forever Husband, and somebody came up and said, I'd really love for you to model. And I'm like,
Yeah.
And so that turned into, well, what do you think about going into acting? And I said, well, I'll try it. I really don't know. So I did it more as a hobby, and it turned into a full-time career. That was really fun.
Are there any movies
Yeah.
that you can tell us that you were
So
in?
I was what you call a commercial actor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I did lots of national commercials. I hosted a television show on lifestyle. So, it was fun. That was a fun part.
You have a familiar face, like I may have saw you on TV.
I'm like, I'm the girl next door. Right. So I just played who I am. So
Yeah.
It's just so ironic, like acting to real estate, like almost opposite ends of the spectrum. Because I'm horrible at it. Like I can't act. My
But
husband's great.
I could see how it could
But
be
I
applied in real
was
estate,
just thinking
though.
that when it came out of my mouth.
It's the same.
When
Yeah,
it just
that's
came
what I
out
was
of my
gonna
mouth,
say.
I thought about that. I'm like, but you have to act in real estate too.
You really do.
I
It's like getting on a
retract everything I
stage,
just said.
literally.
You're literally working transaction to transaction,
Yeah.
just like job to job. So it was really a seamless move for me, but I felt like I had a little more control as to who I wanted to work with and what I wanted to do. And how I wanted to build, right, in real estate. So I moved on to something where I felt like I was more in control of my life.
Yeah, love it.
And that's so important.
So important. What took you to Carolinas?
The weather.
Yeah.
But I went to University of North Carolina in undergrad. So it's so funny. I was in India 5 years ago for my brother's wedding. And they said, where are you from? And I said, North Carolina. And they're like, I don't know. And I said, Michael Jordan. They're like, yes.
Oh, okay.
I said, University of North Carolina.
Yeah.
They're like, yes.
There you go.
That was it.
That was it. That was the game changer
We
right
were in
there.
Miami. We were grinding in Miami. I was pregnant with our second boy. And we were like, we can't do this life anymore.
Yeah.
Like when you feel like you have to put armor on before you even walk out the door, I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
And so we literally packed up and drove to North Carolina. That was 13 years
Would
ago.
you like close your eyes and just pinpoint, or was it because of your history there? Because
Because of our history, and we wanted something progressive. We wanted something close to the mountains, to the beaches. We wanted something we could fly from the East Coast easily.
Yeah.
There was just so many things we could do there.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we were like, let's just do it. Didn't have a job. Knew one person that I graduated from in college, and I'm like, you know what? I asked. I said, give me a sign.
Yeah.
That's a totally different podcast, by the way.
Right.
Okay.
I feel like we need
Give me a sign. And I said, don't you give me a little like feather in the sidewalk.
Right.
I need like something
I
concrete.
need a sign.
Yes.
And let me tell you, that sign came, and the next day I said, we have one. That's it.
Okay.
And your husband was like,
I love
okay,
it.
let's go.
I think he was like, give her a sign. I'm ready.
Just give her the sign.
Some advice to maybe somebody who's in the same situation. Maybe they're moving out of state to a new area. They don't know anybody and they don't have a job and they're trying to make a life for themselves.
So no matter what I found, that you will connect with anybody anywhere in the world. That is just go ahead and align with that intention.
Yeah.
And be very clear about that. Because when you do that, it's amazing what you're open to that you wouldn't be open to otherwise.
Yeah.
So when that happens, that's number one. Number two is really trust your gut, your discernment that's telling you where to go. If there's something in you that's like, I don't know why, but I really need to move here. Okay. Like, people are going to think you're crazy. Trust me. My parents were like, have you lost your mind?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
No, I actually got it. I found it.
Yes.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's the energy you bring to the table as to what the outcome is going to be.
Yeah. Love it. I love that. Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So, second annual Ditch the Hills. How does it feel to be in this environment with all these women? And I'm having a blast, and we're just sitting here. Like I can't wait to get in there. But tell it, how does it feel to be in a room full of, number one, you're a powerful woman in a room full of powerful women. So explain that a little bit, to us. How does it feel?
So you will meet Elizabeth Riley and Kendall Bonner later on. And so what's been amazing is that I've had time with them before the event just to sit around and talk. And when you talk about energy and what energy and intention you bring to the room, everybody came here because they want to be the best version of themselves. I came here because you all bring out the best version of me, and because I can learn from each of you. And so when we all come to the table with that intention in mind, that's what you receive.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
It just is. And so I think that's what makes this event specifically very unique from others, is that everybody intentionally wants to grow. Love it.
Love it so
Thank
much.
you so very much. I'm very excited.
I feel like I could talk to you. I feel like we could talk to you like all day.
So
Like
next time you're in town,
yes,
you're gonna have to come
we
on
would
the
love to
podcast
have
and
you.
we're gonna have to sit and have a great conversation because the energy is amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Like when you sat down, like you said, you're glowing, and I can just feel it, and I love it, and definitely need to have you back.
I want to take
I know,
all that in. Like give it here.
I don't want you to go anywhere. Thank you so very much. Appreciate it.
Right.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. All right.
I'm Elizabeth Riley. I'm in from Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite states.
Really? What's cold to you?
This.
Really?
Really?
And we're all like,
We're like loving it. Yeah.
I walked to go get coffee this morning. I'm like, where's my jacket and my layers?
Oh my
and,
goodness.
we're already getting ready to open our pool. Like my husband's like, we're opening the pool.
We get excited with like a little bit of like sunshine and warmth.
I get it. But if it's below 70, I'm cold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
So I am in Austin, Texas. I have a real estate team, Lex Property Group. I have been in the business as of yesterday, 19 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Part of that was in Georgia. I've been in Texas since 2008.
Okay.
And I'm a mom of 4.
Okay.
And a wife.
Mama 4 girl.
Yeah, same here with her.
See, misery loves company, right? You gotta love the chaos. So.
If I told you their ages, then you'd be like, what do you think?
Yeah.
So
Are they really close?
No, 18 to 2. 18's my oldest.
What are your
Mine are
age?
18 to 10. That's crazy.
Okay.
That's what I said. We're 18 to 2, and they're all spaced out in there. So,
No.
I mean, so you have someone graduating this year?
I do, and I mean,
I know. I do too.
Me too.
You do too. So
Yeah,
even though we're
we-
all in that model,
yeah.
like
It's a hard.
it's my first one
Yeah.
graduating. Your first one
My
graduating?
first one, yeah. This year and next year though, so I have
back
2
to
in a
back.
row.
See, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
And mine's deciding to leave the state, so I'm really.
Oh,
yeah,
that's gotta. How does that feel?
not good.
Cause yeah, yeah.
I'm the mama that will be visiting often and showing up.
Weekend visit.
Mine's staying local, so I'm kind of happy. He's not going too far. He's going to be a little far, but he's staying local.
So where's he? Is it a he or a she?
It's a he.
Okay, where's he going?
He's going to University of Utah.
Oh wow, where
Okay.
did that come from?
They're number 8 in the nation for entrepreneurial business degrees, and so
That's a thing.
For what?
that's a thing.
Entrepreneurial I can't
business
say the
degree.
word. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Well, neither did I. But they're number 8 in the nation, and so he's such an entrepreneur. I wonder where he gets it from.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for him, but it's
That's
gonna be
awesome
hard.
though. Yeah. I know it's hard though.
Is your first Stitch to Heels event?
Sorry,
Is your first Stitch to Heels event?
it is.
Okay.
What do you think so far?
Yeah.
This is awesome. I just think
The energy in here is awesome, and the women coming together. I just love this. I'm super focused on lifting others as I climb and lifting each other up, and I think we need more of this, and so I think they've done a great job bringing this event together.
For sure. Yeah. But we're so excited to sit down and speak with you, and you're one of the speakers, correct?
I am.
Okay. So what will you be
What am I
speaking
talking
about? Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm not really sure.
Okay.
You're on the whim.
I'm on the whim today because if I'll be really transparent. You know, I'm so used to speaking on business or building my business or production or how I built it, and when you come into a room like this where they want you to just inspire, that's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
And how do you really inspire somebody? And so I think so many women are focused on looking good all the time and being right, and I'm just tired of trying to be right and say the right things and do the right things and act the right way.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to be real. So
Yeah, just be yourself.
I had all these different ideas and all these different presentations, and I would work on one and not inspired. And if I'm not inspired, then that's not going to be very authentic coming across, right?
Yeah.
So when I sent over my slides to Kim, she's got the first slide and the last slide. And nothing in between because I'm still working through it. So we'll see what happens today.
Okay. So
I
yeah.
think just telling your story
Yeah.
and how you became so successful, because we've heard all about all of your great success,
Yeah.
will inspire
Yeah, that's inspiring in itself.
Well, I think that is. Thank you. But success looks different for all of us.
Yeah.
Right? And so for me, some people might find value in that. For others, they might be bigger than me. And so I just love being in rooms like this.
Yeah.
Because you can always learn and grow no matter where somebody is. I always say, don't compare your chapter 1 to my chapter 20. So we all have chapter 1s in areas, and we all have chapter 20s. And so I want to learn from all those people as well, just as much as sharing whatever I can give and share today.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what events like this are all about. So, yeah.
Well, thank you so very much for taking the time. We can't wait to hear you speak. Anytime you're back in Michigan, we'd love for you to be a guest on our podcast. We like to dive deep.
I like to go deep.
This is like great, but we want to learn more about you. So if there's ever a time you're back in Michigan, make sure you're a guest on our podcast. We'd absolutely love to have you.
I need to come back to Michigan because I've only been here. This is my second time.
Okay.
Our summers are gorgeous. Our summers, especially on the west side of the state.
And it's a cool city. I don't know what I had in my mind when I came here the first time, but it wasn't what I experienced.
That's what a lot of people say.
It's so cool. And so I need to come where I'm here longer than 12 hours or 24 hours. So
it really is a beautiful state. So
you tell me when the weather's nice and I'll come. If it's cold and snowy, I'm not here.
August.
Yeah.
July, August. End of July, early August. It'll be very comfortable for you and what you're used to. So we'll plan a trip. We'll have you come back. We dive deep. We'll have you for a full hour. So we'll talk about all the things. So thank you so very much.
Thank you.
For having us.
You're welcome.
I know. Can't wait. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
Yes, hi, I'm Kendall Bonner. I am a real estate team leader in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I just got promoted to, I'm the VP of Industry Relations for my company.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the way here to Michigan.
Yes.
Is it your first time here?
It is my first time here in Michigan.
How's it going so far?
It's been great. In fact, it was funny. I'm a Marshall Mathers fan, Eminem.
Oh, really?
And I was like, is that the 8 Mile?
Oh, yeah. That's what everybody say who come here, like, is that the 8 Mile?
Yes.
You just missed out on the NFL draft, though.
I heard. But that was my husband's birthday, so, had to celebrate him that day. But that's so awesome. And what an honor that you guys get to host in your city.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really great experience for the city.
Yes.
So
reminded who you are.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Reminded the world who you are.
For sure. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm a lawyer. Actually,
Okay.
I graduated from law school in 2003, so I've been a licensed attorney for 21 years now.
Okay.
And got into real estate in 2011 and was a real estate agent selling listing homes, and then eventually started my own brokerage. I owned my own RE/MAX for almost 10 years.
Oh, wow.
And then I started a team 3 years ago. And I sold my franchise and took my team to my current company at EXP, and been thriving.
Wow. How did you switch from being a lawyer to becoming a real estate agent?
Yes, a lot of people ask me that question, and I tell people I have to go backwards to come forward. My mom was a doctor and a single mother, and she was an entrepreneur, and she said, JD, MD, PhD, pick one. And so I decided to go to law school, and I never actually planned to be a lawyer. What happened was I jokingly said, I'm just here for my MRS degree. And it was a joke because I was a fully independent woman. But I ended up, it was one of those stories in life where you be careful what you say out loud because it can come true.
Yeah, definitely.
I met my husband the summer before we graduated law school, and on Saturday we got married. Sunday we graduated law school together. And by Tuesday we're in the car driving from Los Angeles, California to Tampa, Florida.
And that was, how long ago was that?
21 years ago.
Wow.
And then how did you get into real estate?
Yeah, so then what happened was my mother, after having a very successful career, she got sick. And I had started my application to get my real estate license for fun. And when my mother got sick and I had to stop to take care of her, that derailed me a little bit. But what it taught me was, what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
Life is short. You never know. No one's promised tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And so I said, I'll actually get my license for fun and explore this other opportunity just because I had an interest. My husband and I had bought and sold a couple of houses at this point. And I got my license, and I went to every training my broker had to offer me. And after 30 days, I said, I'm not practicing law anymore. I'm going to be a full-time real estate agent. And I started taking listings right away and never looked back. And it was, who would have thought, with everything I've done in my career with real estate, that is what that decision would lead to.
Right.
So I'm very grateful. It's been a beautiful journey.
So you don't practice law at all anymore?
I'm not for hire. So I still have my law license, my degree, and not just my degree, but my license, and I will always keep that. But yes, you can't hire me.
So it just wasn't a passion for you?
No, but I did jury trials, I picked juries, I did depositions, I did mediations. I mean, all the things you see on TV, I pretty much did back in that part of my life, that journey.
And so you're speaking today.
Yes.
What are you going to be talking about with us?
You know, that's a great question, and I actually do have an answer for you. I plan to speak about building leverage through building a real estate team, but I decided, because it's been on my heart, to really talk about leadership.
Okay.
And women in leadership.
Okay.
And finding our, really kind of combating our limited beliefs about leadership, our fears about leadership, and how we can step into that, and using fear as fuel.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about.
So what does events like this mean to you as far as women empowerment goes?
Honestly, it's an honor. I flat out, it's an honor, it's a privilege to be able to come and share a part of my journey with other women, and hopefully find those intersections of connectivity where other women can be inspired or empowered or encouraged to take their leap of faith into their business to grow. And that's what it's about for me. So it's seeing other women thrive, I always feel like each one reach for one. There's enough room for all of us.
Definitely.
I'd love to see more women of color, and I would like to see more women in leadership, but I'd also love to see more women of color. One of the things my mom represented for me growing up and my friends, I didn't realize this till we were adults, was she became like a role model, because my friends got to see this, woman be in a industry that there wasn't many people that looked like her in it. And that motivates me to do the same. Being a high-level executive, being on an executive team for the largest brokerage in the U.S., being a woman of color, and then being in a position where I'm being tapped by my company to build connections and relationships in the industry. That's a lot of trust.
It is.
That is such an honor to have that level of respect from the CEO of our company and the leadership and the other agents. So I don't take it lightly, and I'm humbled by it. And if I get to be a voice or a person that someone else gets to see and say, oh, I could do that too. That's pretty cool.
I think you're inspiring a lot of
you're very inspiring. You've been inspiring just sitting here with us.
You have a powerful story, and I can tell you're just a strong woman in general.
Thank you. I love other boss ladies.
Thank you.
I love it. I can't wait to hear you up on stage.
Thank you
so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you both. This is
You're
amazing.
welcome.
I'm honored, and thank you. Thank you for what you do by amplifying voices. And that's such a good thing. And we need more women using their voice, but we also need to amplify one another's voices as well.
And a little bit about that's what our podcast is all about, is like, only thing we usually hear about people in the real estate industry is about real estate. A deal that they have here or there, but we get to know the real person behind real estate, and we provide a safe space for them to come and tell their stories.
Yes, and we all have a story.
We do.
And there's some good ones out there.
And then our stories inspire others, so that's what it's all about.
Love it. So. I love it. I praise it. Well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
All right.